the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action,
the children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Ready. 54. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stocker. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 2nd and 13, Ryan. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Well, they pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Falcons grab it. The return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled in. Complete.
Certainly appeared like they had a great chance of that turning into a touchdown, but maybe led him just a bit too much.
Yeah, out of the back of the end zone. And that's tough on a 5-yard pass, but one of that distance, that can be tough to gauge when you're in the back of the end zone.
The tight end of the ball carrier. Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself. But oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession, and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That second down play nets a -4.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Carr is going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They do go for it. It's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now Carr. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. And this one complete to Smith. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a give, right side. Jacobs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Now, 180. Come on, team.
Shotgun now for Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Ryan. Open man, it's Stacker. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
59, ready. Hey, Rick Lance.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Ready to go.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Ready to go.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Ryan. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Maurice Hurst drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game. That's a lot to carry around.
Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr, that's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. On first down, Carr. He's got Smith here. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession. And
come on, baby. Let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Again, they'll throw with Carr.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Lamb. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Ryan now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Make that now 2 runs in a row that have netted them great results.
And it doesn't matter what kind of blocking scheme they're using, gap scheme, power scheme, zone running. They are finding people in those gaps and moving them and creating nice space for their runners.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Another carry for Wilson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go. Come on.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end. And we peek at some of his work from this game where he's about set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. That catch is number 819 of his career. It ties him with Hall of Famer Steve Largent,
who did things largely below the radar. Not this guy. 819 catches. That speaks loudly in volumes.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 18.
First and 10.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
it's 2nd and 7. Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
50 seconds left. No chance.
1st and goal.
To throw is Ryan. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Matt Milano in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal. Stocker's got it. Complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Ryan. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Carr going to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his 1st NFL sack. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one is right through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and inches.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 19 yards away, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. So they get the score still down. The bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Ryan. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And his kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. I don't wear ball mains. All I ever do is ball main. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment. Spitting like a semi, only give me semicolon. Couple zeros like I'm sending yell nets. Every flow is unmatched and I better get second. Finish them. Mess around with me and I diminish them all. Even if I ever did the minimum all. In the end result, I'm better killing them all. Rogue one, but I got a team with me. Batman when I got a team with me. I get mean, I get green. Show the whole game what's never been seen. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tanks. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. What state brought me looking bleak now? I was homeless, sleep designer sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak, they listen. Couldn't find the social fishing. Who the crew? It wasn't you. I know it's true, cause you look like the opposition. Run it up. Greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait.
Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more boards than a Shawshank.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve though. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Eno. Think I'm part Italian. Blame that on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish he's well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by they self.
That's why you treat my friend good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way. Cause my bro's on the way. I got stones on my gold. I got loads in my safe. Had a 7-figure summer, so I'm putting on some weight. Set up getting thick, so I put it on display.
With this round, I make a joke. Everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Show don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Time to bring the bass back. Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big,